Good morning from Portugal. So we got here yesterday and I actually wanted to take you guys through like what I eat in a day while traveling. Traveling just to get here honestly took a lot. It was way more chaotic than we thought. It was supposed to be only like a 2-hour or like 1 hour layover, but it turned into a 5-hour layover in Boston. And so that kind of threw off a lot. And then I basically like didn't really sleep. We were like traveling for like 18 hours. So that was kind of rough, but I do want to show you guys what I eat typically while traveling on a plane and what I kind of eat once we get here to our destination. So I'll take you guys through that and I hope you enjoy. I hope it gives you inspiration and also shows you that you can be healthy without compromising, you know, joy and stressing out while traveling, and you can also enjoy your travels without compromising your health. So let's get into it. Okay, started my day with this beef stick, and now ideally I would have liked to start my day with a lot more, but we were on the go. We were running late to an early morning flight, and so I grabbed what I could. These beef sticks really come in handy when you're crunched for time. They have 10 grams of protein for only 100 calories, which is a really good ratio. And I usually take a bunch of these and keep them on handy with me in my bag whenever we're traveling and we're just going longer periods without having any nutrients. And then, of course, if you know me, started my day with a matcha latte. That is like the very first thing I do once we get out of security for any morning flight that we have. And then we got settled into the lounge, and that's when I really prioritize having an actual full meal with this chicken wrap in a spinach tortilla, and then loaded up on some good fiber and a little bit of extra protein with the black beans, and then some healthy carbs with the cilantro rice. So that was a pretty decently balanced plate, I would say. Again, it was just some high protein and some good carbs and good fiber. That's essentially what you want to prioritize, especially when you have a long travel day ahead. One thing I will not do is starve myself or, forget to eat or just choose not to eat in general when traveling. I think a lot of people think, like, especially for longer flights, oh, well, we're sitting down, so we're not doing much, so we don't really need to eat much. But on the contrary, like, traveling takes a toll on the body, and so it's really important to nourish your body and feed it nutrient-dense foods and fuel up as much as you can. This is a new vitamin case that I got, and it's really nice for traveling because since it's so sleek, it's just easily packable. And I packed these right now. What I'm taking here is the digestive enzymes, and I'll take that with every meal. And then also keep my multivitamin there and just any other supplements I have. All the liquids I had for breakfast are here. So water, some mint tea, which is really great for digestion, and of course my matcha. And then this shot is actually from a friend who is a partner with Happy Aging. And I actually want to look into this company myself. So if you're interested, I'll go ahead and leave the link down below in the description. But this shot in particular was really good for skin, hair, and nails. I think it had a bunch of collagen in it and just overall good hydration for the skin, which, if you're like me, my skin gets really dry when I'm traveling, and so this shot really came in clutch. I believe they also have other shots for like gut health, energy, cognitive function, all the things, so definitely take a look into it. And then one thing I'm also not going to do is deprive myself or restrict myself, especially while I'm traveling. So I also had a sweet treat with a chocolate chip cookie, and then I just kind of balanced it out with some fruit as well. Watermelon is really great, not only for just the vitamins and nutrients that fruit has, but watermelon in particular is really, really great for hydration. Speaking of hydration, it's really important to hydrate while you're traveling, and so here I am putting electrolytes into my water. So just all the hydration tips there. I usually will have about 2 packets of electrolytes when I'm traveling, and if I don't, my body will easily get dehydrated, and then I'm more prone to getting migraines. The orange packet there is a vitamin C packet, so just loading up on building my immune system at the same time because I refuse to get sick on this trip. And then I don't know if you saw, but I also had a protein bar while we were on our first flight as well. This is a protein shake by Fairlife and had 50 grams of protein, and by the time we landed and got to our layover destination, I was pretty behind in protein. But then I also got a headache even with all my efforts to try to avoid headaches and migraines, so I still had to take some Advil. And then, of course, like I said, I caught up on some protein. We had a layover in Boston, which was supposed to only be an hour, but it ended up being close to just under 3 hours, which was a long time. And the lounge was only open until 12:45. So we loaded up on what we could. And here is my plate. I was also behind in cars. Also, my body was just ravished at this point, so I just was like loading up on anything and everything, just letting my body eat until it felt full. And so I had a bunch of chicken, so again, more protein. Obviously you saw the mac and cheese and some rice. The clam chowder looked really good, and so I decided to have a cup of that, and it actually was really good. I don't know if that looks appetizing, but it was pretty good. And again, just kind of intuitively eating here. A little bit later I ended up having this random plate with this tortilla and some more fruit. So again, my body was just really craving carbs there and some really good fiber. So we just chilled in the lounge for as long as we could until they kicked us out. I think we both were pretty tired at this point, but there was only so much we can do. And so we just tried to, fuel our bodies, eat as much as we could, and try to relax as much as we could before we had to go wait by the gate and, wait to get onto our flight. And then I had some more mint tea. I think I also mixed it this time with some chamomile just to kind of calm my body down, relax it a little bit. My plan was to knock out on this second leg so that I can try to catch up and be on Portugal time once we got there, and really try to maximize our trip in that way. So once on board, they gave us 2 dinner options, and I chose the protein one. There was like a vegetarian one with like some pasta, and then this was like this chicken bowl with rice and veggies. So obviously your girl needs to feed her muscles, so I chose the protein option. Here's our driver taking our bags to our car, and we were so excited to finally have landed in Portugal. We were both pretty exhausted at this point, but we were just focused on staying up for as long as we could to, again, get on the time zone as quickly as possible. I went on my own little exploration adventure, and so when I got back, Gabriel had this prosciutto and cheese panini waiting for me, and it was so yummy, y'all. It's not the healthiest, but it definitely had some protein and some good fats in there, and obviously some good carbs, so it was just enough to hold me over before we went to dinner. We ended up going to a restaurant with a couple of our other friends who landed around the same time, and I'm not sure what kind of restaurant this was actually, but based on like what we ordered, I feel like it was a Latin kind of restaurant. This is the seafood paella, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and then of course had my mocktail while everybody else ordered drinks. The paella was pretty good, but I wouldn't say it was like the best paella that I had. Honestly, I was kind of expecting a little bit more from my first meal in Portugal, but it was decent enough. And then of course we had to go get our first pasta de nata, which is the famous egg and custard tart that Portugal is known for. And then we went to Pastas de Belém to get it, and this is like the famous place that everyone goes to get the tarts. And we literally made it as they were closing, so we got some of their final pastries for the night, and then they gave us a packet of cinnamon, I believe, and then it was like chocolate powder to put on top of the tarts. Here is one of the employees letting us out because, again, we literally made it just before they closed. But the egg tart was really good. I think we all rated it around an 8. Okay, first night we did the egg tarts at how do you say this? Pastas de Belém. What do we think?
That was really good.
Yeah. Out of 10, Jay?
Give it an 8. A little messy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with an 8.5.
Give it an extra half for the flakiness.
I definitely will agree with that. 8.5 for me too.